We are ready. We're in the zone. Let's get our science on.
No, that's delusional, and I'll tell you why.
It's not incorrect.
That's the facts.
No.
You can argue with the facts.
All right, watch me.
Okay.
So,
I'm wearing a coat tonight that Bob Kirshner called the coat of the future. He said, Richard, you must have gotten this coat in the future and brought it back in your time machine because this color hasn't been invented yet.
me, Nick Rosing, I have to tell everyone that you were born in Greenland. That is surely the first person I have ever met born in Greenland. And how many people were in your hometown when you were born?
Well, there's not really a town. There was 7 people, so it was.
A town of 7.
It's about a factor.
We can't even
City, I guess.
think that. We don't even know how to understand that. A town of 7 people.
Well, it seemed quite busy at times, actually.
And maybe you might want to comment on some of your concerns about that program.
Well, I suppose my first concern arose when I was announced and the audience went. And then Cardinal Pell was announced and it went, rah, rah, rah. And I couldn't help feeling that this was not exactly a representative audience of Australia.
There's a great joke, actually. I think it was Powley. Was it Powley? You know this joke? And he went to heaven for some reason. They let him in. And even though he was a physicist, and he got to God and he said, how did you, I've got these questions about you. And God went right with his blackboard. And then Powley just grabbed the chalk off him and went, no. Wait, what happened?
Wolfgang Pauli was famously the arrogant genius who didn't suffer fools.
Yeah, so I actually, well, I can't say I decided to be on the panel because I think I said, what date is it? And they were like, thank you for agreeing to be on the panel.
We can learn about chimp behavior in zoos about as well as we can learn about human behavior in jails. And for exactly the same reasons. They don't bring out the best in us. But when people like Jane Goodall devote themselves to observing chimpanzees in their natural habitats, the chimps get used to them. The chimps have no trouble recognizing after a while that the humans are somewhat inept chimps.
I mean, particles interact with force that vastly exceed that of gravity between the same particles. So it's just kind of irrelevant, right?
Gravity is not irrelevant because it kind of keeps our feet to the ground.
But it's irrelevant to your standard model.
It's irrelevant to particles as far as we can see, but string theorists would disagree. But fortunately, there are none here.
If you look at pictures, I think we have some pictures of what a collision looks like. For example, in one of the detectors, you'll see there's just huge amounts of particles coming out.
Like we see here.
Like what you see here. So here in this event, you actually only have 2 particles that you're actually interested in. This would be kind of what you kind of see with these big red, blue clusters of energy. Those would be the 2 particles that you're interested in. And
these are tracks of
particles. And these are all,
right.
The green is all tracks of particles and so forth and so on. And most of this is just crap from the rest.
That's the technical term?
Yeah, that's actually, that is the technical. We use that a lot in publications.
Yeah, good. Okay.
Yeah.
What was it like working with Stephen Hawking on this particular problem? Because it's kind of a whole journey, right?
Well, you know, I love the guy. He's so passionate about physics. He just, his oneness with the problem and it's.
So his mind is all occupied by the world that's.
And let me tell you, there's a lot of other things with his illness and with his celebrity and a lot of other things.
A lot of distractions pulling at his mind. He's still there. He's still right there.
That's right. I remember him turning down tea with Lady Gaga so we could spend another hour on our paper.
That, my friends, is dedication.
Now, your second point was about time. And time is a major stumbling block to the understanding of evolution. Many of the skeptics who say, I don't believe I ever came from a monkey, whatever it is, or I don't believe the eye could evolve, they just don't understand what 1,000,000 years is, let alone 100 million years. People say, I'll believe it when I see a monkey give birth to a human. You laugh, but I assure you that's a common enough.
So more than 5 times more of the universe is made of this invisible dark matter stuff, and we don't know what that is. And then 68% is something called dark energy, and we really don't know what that is. So dark energy is some kind of mysterious, repulsive force that appears to be causing the universe to expand at an ever-increasing rate. So the lesson from this is essentially when you hear the word dark in physics, you should get very suspicious, because it basically means we don't know what we're talking about.
And what Stephen is saying is that is a loss of information that we teach physicists with their mother's milk, and that this may be, in fact, throwing away information that is actually experimentally much more important.
More or less. I mean, I think that let's not go off into projectile space for a minute. I mean,
you guys never take me anywhere.
Fly me to the Hilbert space.
Right.
Okay, Richard, do you believe religion serves any useful purpose at all?
No.
That's all, folks. La rivedere.